The government has decided to curb the misuse of your money, and this has been reiterated through the fact that one officer, one official card that has been announced by the government. Hello everyone, welcome to Vajiram and Ravi's Flash News. My name is Shubhangi Singh, and in today's session we are going to understand that why government is trying to ensure that their officials are listening, are understanding that it is going to be their responsibility, it is going to be important that they are not wasting the public resources. So government, what they have done, the government has again announced through revised guidelines that if officers are having additional duties, they shouldn't be getting additional official vehicles. They should be looking only at one official car. And the directives are very clear, very detailed that have come through these very guidelines. So when we are looking at this situation, a bigger question rises that why government is involved in this fine detail. That is what we are mainly looking to understand today. So first let us understand in detail that what government has told through this revised guideline. So government is saying that if there is one officer and he is allowed to use only one official car, even if he might be having additional charges other than his main charge, be it in any other ministry, be it in PSU, autonomous body or statutory authority, that means one person will only get one official car. Furthermore, there has been a clear clarification that when we are talking about officers who are related, who are working or who are deployed in PSUs, they cannot use vehicle belonging to PSUs or the autonomous body for any other personal convenience at all. Apart from that, in the revised guidelines, we have another two very important instructions that whatever is the ideal fleet, that needs to be reported and that needs to be done and maintained rather than going out for personal uses. And apart from that, government has been very clear in terms of strict compliance. All the ministries have been asked to ensure this compliance, which has come from the Ministry of Finance to save up on the important public money. Now, as I started with this question that why is this so important that this is making headlines? This is making headlines because unfortunately this previously has made headlines. Lokpal has sent out a tender of worth more than 5 crores where we are seeing acquirement of 7 luxury BMW cars. Who do you think is paying for this? This is being paid by your money. This special training for the drivers of BMW is being paid by your money. If this headline is not enough to bring in this kind of headlines, then we also need to look at other numbers which are being told by our CAG itself. The CAG audit clearly highlights that there has been fraudulent claim of 3.37 lakh when we are talking about in terms of servicing. That means the cars are not going to services which are being used by officers, but they are taking the money from the government. Another bigger, wider audit has shown that amount worth more than 600 crores has been related to overpayment, something that would have been avoided, unfruitful across the government bodies. When we are looking at purchase of vehicles, we are seeing absolute overuse of the limit that has been prescribed. So when we are looking at CAC report number 3 of 2025, it specifically talk about that we have seen across states. For this example, we are looking at Goa where the chairman's vehicle purchase for 32 lakh, whereas the ceiling is of 20 lakh. Managing director's vehicle more than 30 lakhs, whereas the ceiling only of 10 lakh. And this is where we get to see multiple such numbers. This is something that is right in front of us. There have been n number of reports coming from our own CAG who has been telling that across union and state governments there are irregularities again and again related to avoidable expenditure, wasteful expenditure, overpayment, idle investment and more. So in this context, it is clearly established that what money you are giving to government as taxes, that is the public money, that is facilitating the cars, the services, which probably is not happening. Now, when we look at these numbers, when we are talking about 600 crores, when we are talking about something in lakhs, that is where it starts clicking that why that law is very much needed. Even if it's still not clicking, let us do the basic math which is present in front of us. Government has the basic norm which says that the fuel limit for the personnel is 250 liters per month per car. Now car number is fixed, one only. So let's assume this. So 250 liters is available. If the personnel is asking for extra fuel, then it will need proper approval from administrative secretary or financial advisor. So let us not take that in consideration. As of now, we are looking only at 250 liters. Apart from that, there are certain eligible officers who can use their car for personal use, but that has to be only up till 500 km per month, and that can be done by paying only 3,000. So once they have surrendered their transportation allowance and they are paying this amount, they are allowed to use the official cars for these many kilometers. Now when we are looking at 5,000 plus 250, 750 liters, let us average out the price. Even though in metropolitan cities it is way and above beyond 100, let us average out at 100. We are looking at the bill of how much? Right? So we are looking at the bill of 75,000. How much is being paid? 3,000. Now let us multiply this 75,000 number with actual people who might be using this. Just to understand the scale of impact, we already know that thousands of officers are eligible for office vehicles. Let us take example. Let us just look at ISs who are in service. As of now, the number stands somewhere around 5,500 plus. If to be exact, it is 5,577. Then if we look at IPS officers, somewhere around 4,120. Then if we are looking at IFS officers, then we are looking at 2,314. Even if we are looking at just these three services, including the joint secretaries, we are easily touching the number of 10,000 personnel. I am leaving a lot of numbers as of now. Let us multiply this. And I think already you can understand that what big numbers are we talking about here. This is a newspaper clipping where it was highlighted that the fuel bill and how it exists, specifically when we are just looking at one union territory. The numbers are crazy and bewildering. And if government wouldn't have brought these numbers, there is a possibility that this might continue further ahead. But this is way of government to tell that this needs to stop. And the government has not been telling as of now. The government has been telling this since 2022, when Master Office Memorandum was brought in for official cars. Now the question is what it will do, how it will help. So first, we already know the answer, the calculation, the math, the difficult math we were doing, that will be saved. Apart from that, we will be saving up on a recurring expenditure. Please understand, this is something that goes and it is not going to create anything. We are spending on again and again, be it in terms of fuel, salaries, repairs, maintenance. But when we are looking at capital expenditure, it creates asset. And this is the problem with increasing revenue expenditure, which leads to revenue deficit also, because nothing is going to be created, no loans would be paid off. When we are looking at liabilities going off, that is not going to happen. This is why we always look at the fact that revenue deficit is something that can drag the economy down, because your general expenditures are way higher than your general incoming money. And that is why this is a problem. When we are looking at capital expenditure, which is creating assets, so whenever we are moving towards what? We are moving towards fiscal deficit. If it exists, it's not a problem. It might be helping in some ways, but revenue deficit is a big problem, and such expenditures balloon the revenue deficit in ways we cannot think of. And if this is put right, there are multiple things that can go in the right direction. First, the government which is talking about good governance, we might be actually seeing it in real time. Good governance in form of accountability, good governance in form of ensuring proper use of public resources, Good governance in form of transparency. Then as I discussed how this will ensure reduced revenue expenditure. And then let us understand that how it will create a positive ripple effect across the economy as well. It is not just the expectation from the officials, it is also about that how it can actually have direct enhancement in the economy. The first way it can have a direct effect. Whatever money is being saved from this, it can directly go towards education, healthcare, infrastructure, social welfare. That will enhance the productivity, the livability of our country, which will automatically lead into better numbers. Second way of looking at it, when we are looking at lower government consumption expenditure, it will improve the fiscal discipline, it will reduce the wasteful spending, it will ensure that we have efficient use of resources, and it will create a greater, better fiscal space for productive, real investments which are needed by our country. So it not only paints a good image, it pays, it benefits to bring this reform. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comment section. I'll be leaving you here with the prelims practice question. Let me know the answer to this in the comment section. Very basic question from what I have already taught you today. That was all from my side. Thank you so much.